Welcome to our U.S. Briefing Show. Today, we're diving into a truly inspiring story from New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a young immigrant with South Asian and Muslim roots, has surged ahead in the mayoral primary. His victory isn't just about politics, it's a milestone for representation, cultural pride, and social justice, energizing communities across the nation. Of course, it's also sparked some debates and controversy, especially around his remarks on Modi, but his supporters see him as a beacon of hope for marginalized groups. Next, we turn to a major legal decision. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in favor of religious parents wanting to opt their kids out of LGBTQ-themed classroom books. This 6-3 decision emphasizes religious freedom but has many worried about increased censorship and discrimination in schools. It's a tricky balance between protecting beliefs and maintaining diversity and free speech in education. Finally, the geopolitical scene heats up as the U.S. and Israel continue their strategic moves in the Middle East. Recent Israeli strikes on Iran's nuclear sites mark a significant escalation, with the U.S. playing a key role. This long-standing power game involves regional tensions, shifting alliances, and the looming threat of wider conflict. The region remains fragile, with many countries watching closely as the balance of power continues to shift. Please continue to watch for more details. The Associated Press reports a historic and inspiring moment in New York City politics, where Zohran Mamdani, a 33-year-old democratic socialist and immigrant from Uganda with Indian roots, emerged victorious in the Democratic primary for mayor. His win has electrified South Asian and Muslim communities nationwide, symbolizing hope and representation in a city that has long been a mosaic of diverse cultures. Mamdani's campaign resonated deeply with many, especially as he openly embraced his heritage through media appearances and cultural references, such as Bollywood and Hindi. His rise has stirred feelings of pride among supporters who see him as a beacon of progress, breaking barriers as potentially the city's first Asian American Muslim mayor, and inspiring families across the diaspora to envision a future where their roots are celebrated and their voices heard amid the city's ongoing struggles with racism and xenophobia. The Associated Press details the widespread reaction to Mamdani's success, highlighting how his journey has motivated South Asians and Muslims both in New York and around the world. Families, like Kondabalu's, have been energized, with members actively campaigning and sharing stories of personal connection. Supporters admire his authenticity, social media savvy, and willingness to embrace his cultural identity, including his support for Palestinian causes and criticism of Israeli policies, which have generated both praise and controversy. His campaign also addressed critical issues like affordable housing and economic inequality, striking a chord with working-class voters, despite some criticisms about his privileged background. Mamdani's candidacy signifies a shift in political discourse, emphasizing diversity, social justice, and the importance of representation for marginalized communities, even as opponents and some Jewish groups challenge his positions on sensitive topics. The Associated Press covers a pivotal Supreme Court ruling that could reshape educational content in American public schools, as the court sided with parents seeking to exclude LGBTQ-themed books from lessons. The 6-3 decision, driven by conservative justices, argued that the absence of an opt-out option infringes on religious freedoms, igniting fears of increased censorship and the erosion of diversity in education. Justice Sonia Sotomayor's dissent warned that shielding children from diverse ideas undermines the fabric of a multicultural society, emphasizing the importance of exposing students to different perspectives. This ruling, which overturns previous court decisions supporting inclusive curricula, raises concerns about potential legal challenges nationwide and the broader implications for free speech and LGBTQ rights, with advocates condemning it as a step backward in protecting the rights of marginalized groups and promoting open, honest education. South China Morning Post highlights Cambodia's unwavering dedication to peace along its border with Thailand. In a recent incident near Preah Vihear Temple, a long-standing territorial dispute escalated when a Thai soldier shot and killed a Cambodian soldier, prompting Cambodia to seek justice through the International Court of Justice, ICJ. Cambodia's response was marked by restraint and a firm commitment to international law, emphasizing that their actions are rooted in legal precedents, such as the 1962 ICJ ruling affirming Cambodia's sovereignty over the temple and surrounding areas. The Cambodian officials stress that their approach is not driven by historical grievances or nationalist fervor but by a genuine desire to prevent further conflict, protect regional stability, and uphold the rules-based order in Southeast Asia. They call for regional and international support in resolving border disputes peacefully, demonstrating a principled stance rooted in legal norms and mutual respect, with a willingness to cooperate with Thailand and ASEAN in pursuit of lasting peace. The Associated Press reports on the strategic potential of ASEAN amidst the ongoing US-China rivalry. While traditionally praised for its neutrality and diversification, ASEAN now faces the challenge of transforming its diplomatic restraint into tangible leverage. The bloc's collective economic power, nearly $4 trillion in GDP and over 685 million people, remains underutilized in shaping regional influence. The article underscores how ASEAN's control over critical resources like nickel and its role as a digital battleground could serve as bargaining chips in the US-China competition, provided the member states unify their policies. However, internal divisions on issues like sustainability standards and digital regulation weaken their negotiating position. The peace advocates for ASEAN to shift from cautious ambiguity to strategic coherence, harnessing its economic and geopolitical assets to shape trade, climate, and technological rules, thus elevating its influence on the global stage rather than remaining a fragmented market or geopolitical buffer. The Boston-based Yahoo US details recent developments involving US domestic politics and defense infrastructure. Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon, known for his centrist stance and military background, has announced he will not seek re-election, signaling potential shifts in the political landscape of a district that leans progressive. Meanwhile, a significant legal settlement reveals how three firms, Eurovia Atlantic Coast LLC, Lane Construction, and Stantec Consulting, agreed to pay $1.37 million for submitting false claims related to a partially completed runway project at Westfield Barnes Regional Airport used by the Massachusetts Air National Guard. The project's failure, marked by unconstructed features and cracking issues, underscores the importance of accountability in federal contracting, especially when military safety is at stake. The settlement highlights ongoing efforts by law enforcement to ensure contractors meet performance standards and uphold taxpayer investments, emphasizing that cutting corners on military infrastructure undermines national security and public trust. The South China Morning Post vividly recounts the long, complex history of US and Israeli strategies aimed at regional dominance in the Middle East, emphasizing a pattern of covert planning, military intervention, and geopolitical manipulation. From the late 1990s, when US senators openly discussed reducing regional states to pre-industrial levels to prevent them from rivaling Israel, to the post-9/11 era of aggressive interventions in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, and Iran, the narrative underscores a relentless pursuit of regional destabilization to maintain Israeli supremacy. Recent Israeli airstrikes against Iran, justified as preemptive, reveal the ongoing echoes of this blueprint, with Western leaders publicly denying ambitions of regime change but privately pursuing policies that threaten to escalate tensions and nuclear proliferation. The article highlights the fragile, unpredictable aftermath of recent strikes, with Iran damaged but still resilient, contemplating clandestine military development or regional alliances that could lead to nuclear armament, risking further destabilization and conflict. Amidst this turbulence, regional power dynamics are shifting, with Israel asserting greater influence, Turkey strengthening its position, and Gulf states cautiously navigating their interests, all while the core unresolved Palestinian issue looms as a potential catalyst for future upheaval. Meanwhile, the Associated Press details the high-stakes trial of Sean "Diddy" Combs, a story that captures the dark underbelly of fame and power in the music industry. Over 7 weeks, the jury has heard shocking allegations of violence, drug abuse, and coercion, with prosecutors painting Combs as a criminal mastermind orchestrating a 2-decade-long enterprise involved in sex trafficking, kidnapping, arson, and intimidation. The evidence includes graphic videos, victim testimonies, and a series of explicit encounters involving paid sex workers and Combs' former girlfriends, all under the umbrella of a racketeering conspiracy under the RICO Act. The defense counters with claims of overreach and a lifestyle mischaracterized by prosecutors, emphasizing recreational drug use and personal choices rather than organized crime. As the jury prepares to deliberate, the case underscores the perilous intersection of celebrity, criminal enterprise, and justice, with a guilty verdict potentially leading to life imprisonment for one of the most influential figures in modern music. The trial exposes the darker side of the entertainment industry, where fame and power can mask systemic abuse, and the outcome hinges on the jury's interpretation of a complex web of evidence and allegations. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ends to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ends to outer space, we've got the facts in one